What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Take Action Low. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Take Action Real Estate Investing. I got a very, very special guest, Mr. Donnie Boivin. Did I get it, Donnie? Yes. I was hoping not to butcher that. But I just recently met this gentleman, and I'll tell you, his energy, his spirit, it just hit me in a positive way. And I just asked him, hey, would you mind allowing me to interview you on my podcast? And he said yes. So without any further delay, I just want to go ahead and introduce him now. Donnie, thank you so much for taking the time and allowing me to interview you here on my show.
No worries. And I think I said hell yeah, but we'll just go with that. I said yes, but yeah, no, thanks for having me out here.
Sure, no problem. So let's just dig in. Tell us a little bit about yourself before you became this awesome success coach and motivational speaker. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I love telling people I'm a former United States Marine, and I don't tell that for the accolades, but you know me, I'm gonna have a little bit of salty flair to me, so it's gonna come out of me. I've been a sales guy my entire career, right? So I've been straight commission sales, and somewhere along that journey, I jumped into self-help books and the whole just get out of your own damn way thought process.
Yes.
And, recently I put up my own shingles, and now we're starting just off to kick a little ass, have a little fun, and, really work with some badasses, really helping them go for it. So it's been a blast.
That is fantastic. And now tell us exactly, with your program, you being a success coach, who do you mostly work with? What kind of people are you attracting that want to work with you?
No, that's a great question. And I get this quite often. And I tell people, really, I'm looking for the badasses, right?
Yes.
I want the people that are really ready to kick it up a notch. One of my clients said it in a really cool way. She said, Donnie, you really take the people that have that it factor and then really help them go for it.
Yes.
So, a lot of my clients seem to be in like some sort of transition part of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were like me and got tired of making somebody else a lot of money and decided, screw that, I'm going to make it for myself,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Or maybe they're just in that job that they just absolutely hate, but something's holding them back from taking that leap and taking that jump. So I've got clients that want to go on the big stages, public speaking. I've got people that, want to do it here in a more localized. I've got entrepreneurs. It's really all over the place, but really it's that transitional point of they want to go, they're just not sure what the trick is, or they have that one fear that's just absolutely holding them back.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, when dealing and working with people, can you say, or would you agree that it's the mindset that you really have to kind of work on first? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's your mindset, but it's also your comfort zone, right?
Yes.
People at some point just get okay being okay.
Right.
And then something happens, right? Like for me, I was at an event and a gentleman asked a question, and he asked the question, can you put your company before yourself? And I audibly said, no. Only problem was there was 30 other people sitting in the room, some who at the time were prospects for me, and I kind of went, oh shit, I just said that out loud, right?
Right.
And, so that made me realize that I'd really spent a lot of time growing other people's businesses. So, but when you go into this thing, it's the mindset of you have to already see yourselves as being successful, right? 'Cause as soon as you make that move, the universe is going to step in and slap you around a little bit going, you really want to do this? Can you handle this? And it's that mindset to charge forward and say, hold my beer and watch this because it's about ready to get real and a lot of fun, right?
Exactly. Oh, that's fantastic. And I find that too, even with clients I work with, in real estate, I just don't teach them the business, but one of our first meetings is getting to know you, and we're starting to work on this whole mindset shift. You have to do it. So yeah, that's fantastic. Now, what motivates you? I know you motivate other people, but we all have our days. What keeps you going?
Oh yeah, dude, I tell you, one of my favorite. I got a couple of fun tricks that I do. One of my favorites is I'll actually go to YouTube. And I learned this from high school. And before you go into a football game or something, they always play some blast, Metallica or some crazy heavy metal stuff to get you all fired up. Well, I don't blast music, but I'll go to YouTube and I'll find the most inspirational, motivational video that I can, and I'll just blare that out through my Bluetooth in my truck and play that a lot of times. The second is always going back to your why.
Yes.
Right? Why are you doing this in the first place? And for me, it was I cut off all avenues of retreat. Right. Yes. So I had no choice but to freaking plow forward. So those days you're like, damn, and then immediately you have to go to, well, crap, dude, if I don't get moving, I got nothing else behind me. So let's keep plowing forward on a regular basis. But podcasts, audiobooks are huge, right? And it's always constantly feeding your mind with that other positive stuff. And dude, I've got so many cool people like you, Lo, that I can reach out to and say, dude, today just sucks, man. Help me get my head right,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it becomes that cool partnership between multiple people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, and pretty much everything you do, I do.
Right.
You have to have that nucleus of people with
Yes.
like minds, like you said, that you can feed off of as well. And you can, we can motivate each other because we have our days. But I'm glad you shared that because, a lot of people think, oh, they see you, they see me, they may see other people.
Right.
And we're always happy and giddy. But a lot of times, we're human. We have our own things that we're dealing with too. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, it's very important that you surround yourself with those people. They've got to be other badasses.
Yes.
Right? You don't want the Debbie Downers. You don't want the Eeyores, right? You want the people that are already charged in life because they know what it's like. Is they're hot and heavy and they're running like hell at it. They know that they're going to have bad days too, and they need to be able to rely on coming back to you and say, dude, Donnie, it's one of those days. Lo, it's one of those days, right?
Yes.
Right? But if they're not that hard charging, high energy type person that's really going after it, they may go Debbie Downer right with you.
Exactly.
And that's not helpful for either party.
That's right. And that's a huge key right there. So guys, if you're listening, what he's simply saying is if you're not around those type of people, if you're around Debbie Downers and people that are negative and just, you need to find some other folks to get around.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And quick.
Real quick.
Awesome. So, one of the things that, when we met, we talked about that we had in common that, one of the persons that we like is Gary V.
Oh, yeah.
So I love his energy. And I know you shared a little bit, for those of you that don't know who Gary Vanderchuk is, he is a highly successful social media expert. So
he is the expert, in my opinion.
Exactly. So YouTube him. He's one of the ones that we like to listen to and follow. And if you guys don't have anybody now, you have someone. You have us, and now you also have Gary V. So go to YouTube and find him. But I just want to put that out there because I know that's one of the things that we have.
One thing on Gary V is that he's got one thing. You need to go Google it and everything else. But he's got a 3-word statement that was a game changer for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, some girl ran up to him in the car and said, 3 words that will be life changing that'll help me keep going at all times. And he looked at her without skipping a beat and said, "You're gonna die." Right? Yes. And it was and I was listening, I'm like, holy shit, that's it, right? Yeah. If you don't listen, looking at every day going, dude, this is the only one I got. Let's go. Let's run. And every day you've got to charge at it. It was just a brilliant concept for a man who just thinks so fast on his feet.
Yes.
I love watching the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And, that's very powerful. You're going to die. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's life changing, like you said.
Absolutely.
Because we are. And time is precious.
Not today, though.
Yeah, not today. Yeah, not today. All right. So, Donnie, share a favorite book. Maybe a life-altering book that you've read.
The first book I ever was given was by my father when I was 14. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Right?
Yes.
And a lot of people have this, that was kind of their game-changing book for them. For me, it wasn't the book itself that was game-changing. It was the world it opened to me. Right? I didn't know that there was this self-help world. I didn't realize there was this motivational. I didn't realize there was people that would teach you how to get out of your own way. Yeah. So it opened up the old world. But I'll tell you right now, the book that has been game-changing for me is Jen Sincero's book, You're a Badass at Making Money. Right? Awesome. And it's not just a money book. It's a mindset change book. So go find it. And trust me, if I could ever have a cocktail with Jen Sincero, I'd love to meet the girl. I love her personality. Get the Audible version because it's funny as hell. She's just down to earth. But it's just so refreshing to have somebody tell their kind of rags to riches story.
Yes.
But affect more than it's not just a finance book. It's a mindset book all the way through it. I love it.
Fantastic. I haven't read that one, so I'll make sure and get that myself, the audiobook. And also I'll share it here within the description of
awesome.
This particular interview. But,
awesome.
Well, that's fantastic. So, before I let you go, can you give some advice to someone that's listening that may be struggling and really just can't maybe get a break or they're in their own way? What advice would you share with them?
So I sat across from a young lady yesterday that is one of my clients, And she's got a great story, but she kept going to this mindset that she really thought she had it, but she wasn't sure. And I said, I want you to look through your life. And I bet there's people that look up to you. And she goes, yeah, I've got a couple people that look up to me. I said, cool. What do you think they see when they think of you? And she listed off some cool things like confident and, composed and driven and all this stuff. I said, I want you to think about one thing. Is often we struggle with our own self-concept of how badass we actually are. But if we start becoming the person our fans already think we are, then it'll be an absolute game changer for our lives. We've got to see ourselves through the lenses of the people that already see it in us and then become and embrace that person. Because, dude, everybody's a hero to somebody.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? And it's about embracing that and constantly reminding yourself, dude, I'm already there.
Yeah.
Now let's just run like hell.
Let's run like hell. I love that. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Donnie,
absolutely.
I really appreciate you, again, taking the time for allowing me to interview you. Very powerful interview, guys. Replay this. I'm going to watch it again. But Donnie, can you please share with people how can they reach out to you, get in touch with you, learn more about you, or even events that's coming up?
Absolutely. So one of the things I'm excited about is my ebook's fixing to launch, and it's called "That's Not How You Journal, Jackass." And I came up with the title because that's what my coach told me when I told him I wasn't journaling, and I told him what I thought journaling was, and he looked at me without skipping a beat, goes, "That's not how you journal, jackass." And then it takes you through that story and the process of how I learned to actually journal, and in journaling, literally, it tripled my income. I was able to build my dream house, build an additional house on my property for my in-laws. But it walks you through that journey of how I figured out journaling all the way through, teaches you a methodology that I learned to even a Marine like me, right, not college educated, that could figure out, get consistent with journaling. And I've been consistently journaling without skipping a day for almost 500 days consecutively. It's awesome, right? It's been game-changing. But you can check me out on my website, which is DonnieBoivin.com, which is DONNIE, B as in boy, OI, V as in Victor, IN.com. And you can actually pre-register for the Jackass Journal there. That's what everybody's calling it for short.
Awesome.
On there. And you can call me on my cell. I don't mind, 817-709-3886 as well. My Twitter handles, Instagram, all that are at Donnie Boivin. Once again, DONNIE BOIVIN. Check me out there. I have a ton of speaking engagements coming up that range from co-working spaces to other things. Most of those are up on my website, so check me out there. And I'm always looking for other opportunities.
Fantastic. And I'll make sure and post your website link as well. Donnie, thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. I'm going to have you back once your book is complete. So.
And hey, my podcast is starting up in 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask for a return favor, girl. You're coming to get on mine too.
Well, awesome. I can't wait.
All right. Thanks, Lo.
Thank you.